Thank you very much, Honorable Moderator, Dr. Raj, Honorable Dennis Kode, Presiding Officer of ECOSOCC. I know you had to leave for pressing engagement. Professor Fatima Karaja, Champion of the ECOSOCC Pan-African Month. Of course, Mr. William Carey, Head of the ECOSOCC Secretariat, and distinguished speakers. So Nesen Duluka, Kamalingdin Hermes, and Madurai. And of course, dear audience and participants. I'd like first of all to express sincere thanks for the invitation to address this select gathering, while warmly congratulating ECOSOCC for this commendable initiative. The value of any activity in general is also a function of its timing. And the timing of this Pan-African Month could not be more fitting. First, this year we celebrate 20 years of existence of our most cherished African Union and prepare for the 60 years anniversary of our founding institution, the Organization of African Unity, next year. So this year also for Agenda 2063, we complete the first 10-year implementation plan and we elaborate on the second 10-year implementation plan for next year. So we are therefore at a moment where we have the potential to transform the continent we so dearly inherited to the Africa we so genuinely want. It is at such junctures of history that reflection is requested and action is expected. The ECOSOCC Civil Society Pan-African Month is hence an opportunity to respond to this call and to meet that anticipation. So, Mr. Chair and dear attendants, have we not heard the saying that one hand cannot clap alone and that two are required to tango? Well, these sayings could not be more applicable than to the task at hand. No social actor alone can fully undertake this ambitious mission, nor wholly meet that high expectation. Neither governments alone, nor civil society alone, nor private sector alone, nor international organizations alone, whether continental, regional, or sub-regional, can do it. But together, we surely can. Together, in a genuine partnership that capitalizes on the respective roles of all social and institutional actors. A partnership that is based on complementarity and not competition, on joining hands together and not pulling the ropes apart. Each actor has a role to play, a contribution to make, and a constituency to respond to. So at the African Union, we recognized those concentric circles long ago, and we designed the structures that can help to harness this potential. ECOSOCC is one such exceptional platform for which Africa deserves to be credited. And I recall the champions mention that it is not only exceptional, but actually unique in its format. I shall not delve more onto its details, given that figures of authority are already here and have spoken to length about it. But the mere participation of this wide audience, I see more than 100 people, is a sufficient testimony to the effectiveness of this institution. I wish also to highlight the Directorate of Citizens and Diaspora, CIDU, which is at the African Union Commission. It's mandated to streamline the activities of non-governmental activities or non-governmental entities into the programs and into the policies of the Union. This is implemented by its two components, the Diaspora Division as well as the Civil Society Division. And to cite only a few of its programs for the year of 2022. 1, Interfaith Dialogue on Violent Extremism. I think appropriately abbreviated IDOV. It's unique because it demonstrates the central role young people play in bringing change and creating innovative ways for building peace and preventing violent extremism. It's a youth-led initiative that is cross-continental, engaging young experts from various backgrounds and religious beliefs, including community workers, academicians, policymakers, creative artists from Africa, Europe, the Arab world, and now Southeast Asia. 2, the African Union Interfaith Dialogue Forum, whose steering committee this year will meet to discuss the increase of the coordination capacity to take stock of the recommendations of the review report and to explore new partnerships, prioritize elements of the strategic plan and develop an action plan, including mandates and elections, budgeting, funding for 2023. 3, international partnership on religion and sustainable development, part, where the AUC through CEDAW was granted membership to engage the social capital and capacities vested in diverse faith communities for sustainable development. And 4, the African Union Organization of African Trade Unity, which recognizes the critical role that Africa's labor movements can play in the growth, development, and prosperity of the continent. You may recall that since 2009, the AU and the OATU have successfully organized annual partnership forums, bringing together representatives of trade unions from across the continent to deliberate on matters of policy design, influencing, and implementation. These are just a few, but a few that offer doors for participating in these initiatives and others. These doors would open at the first knock for credible, well thought out, and articulated partnerships aimed at realizing the objectives of our cherished African Union. So I invite you to knock, and I assure you that the doors will open. So, Mr. Chair and dear attendants, as we speak of the timeliness of the initiative to hold the ECOSOCC Civil Society Pan-African Month 2022, now in July, we should also mention that it coincides with an important occasion where we celebrate the 10-year anniversary of the convening of the Global African Diaspora Summit held in South Africa. This carries a special dimension of the African Union Commission's civil society engagement. And in this context, AUC's CEDAW carries 4 diaspora development projects, which build the capacities of both the AU member states and the diaspora networks and ensure the sustainability of the engagement process towards the continent's development. In fact, the division of diaspora is responsible for the operationalization of the diaspora legacy projects. And I cite among them the African Institute for Remittances, the only legacy project that is already established, the African Diaspora Investment Fund, and you may recall that the Executive Council has lately adopted the idea asking us to proceed with a feasibility study. Then the African Global Marketplace, Diaspora Marketplace, which I think one of the first dialogues will take place in Accra on the 20th of July, just after the Mid-Year Coordination Summit in Zambia, and the African Professional Skills Database, and finally, the African Diaspora Volunteers Corps. So the Diaspora Division is also working in collaboration with the Republic of Togo to start the implementation of the Assembly's decision that declares the decade of people of African roots and diasporas and descent from 2021 to 2031. I hence once again launch a call of participation in these important projects. And given that our meeting is held virtually today, I trust that it has extended to include our most cherished African diaspora around the world. And again, we wait on them to knock on CEDAW's doors. So, Mr. Chair, we live in an information age where knowledge is the most valued resource. African civil society has the potential to be the most valued provider of that resource. We need the well-distilled knowledge that addresses Africa's most pressing challenges. The rich diversity of the program of Civil Society Pan-African Month provides an opportunity of harnessing that exact knowledge that we need. Hence, we look forward to learning the outcomes of your rich discussions, containing practical ideas, founded on solid research, and vetted through participatory discussions. So your 1 month of deliberations can harness years of work. Speak out loud of these results, and you will find our ears well tuned to listen to them. While we may not be able to attend all the promising activities that you may hold throughout the month, I promise you that we at the African Union Commission at all levels will not miss the opportunity to learn the outcomes and to put them for the benefit of our dear African continent. When we speak about civil society, the first thing that comes to my mind is voluntary work, le travail bénévolat. Et vous, monsieur le modérateur, vous avez donné un exemple vraiment pratique, c'est comme le leadership by example, où nos interpréteurs nous ont fourni notre temps très précieux pour nous aider à se comprendre mieux. Alors, je vois que même dans ce petit exemple, nous a donné une grande leçon comment vraiment mettre les mots, les traduire en action. Et je vous remercie pour votre attention.
Merci beaucoup, ambassadeur, et merci pour votre engagement personnel et votre inspiration aussi. Donc, on vous demande de déclarer ouverte le membre africain avant que je reprenne le relais.
And I think, dear moderator, we all together declare the African Civil Society July month open and official.
Thank you, sir.